Hey everyone, welcome to episode 5 of season 2 of Where's That Bar Cart? I'm one of your hosts, Nick Dury. Alongside me is
Daryl Purvis.
And I'm Monty M. Scott.
That is very true. He is Monty M. Scott. We have an excellent episode for you today. Well, we think we haven't done it yet. We're recording this beforehand. Don't know why I keep pulling the curtain back on that one. But
look, I think you can assume it's going to be a great episode.
I think so.
We can almost call ourselves professional podcasters at this point.
Almost at this point,
yeah.
I would think so. I mean, we've got 100%
bangers.
But we were super excited when this individual said that they wanted to come on. It's Christine Fraser, the golf course architect. Christine grew up, I believe, in Kingston on the course that her family built, which is called Camden Braes, which I believe Daryl has actually played.
I have indeed played it.
And then got a Division I golf scholarship to a school in Florida. And then upon finishing her degree, came back to Canada, went to University of Guelph, got a master's degree in landscape architecture, and then subsequently spent 5 years in England, mentoring under one of the best course architects in the world, and is now making waves in golf course design and architecture, which is just fantastic and amazing. So super excited to talk to Christine.
Yeah, if you don't know who she is, I would say, press pause, Google her, look her up to see the things that she's done at such a young age. Amazing. So yeah, it'll be really interesting to talk to her because she's one of the real big up and coming people in golf course design and one of the very few women who does it.
Yeah, so, like one of 3, I think as we talked about or learned about, and I'm super excited because not only has she worked on a number of amazing courses in Europe, but I've actually played. Daryl and I have played one of the courses she's helped design here in Mississauga, Braeben course, which is one of my favorite courses I've ever played. She had a hand in playing, so super interested to hear what she has to say about that.
Yeah,
it gives us a 360-degree look at the game of golf with
exactly
the designer on that.
Yeah, incredible. We before we get into our
that's a deep comment by Monty.
And I'm skirting over it, and I shouldn't, but I'm skirting over it for a goddamn good reason. We've got a sponsor. It's BetStamp is sponsoring the Where's That Bar Card podcast. BetStamp is a sports betting site, but it's not just a sports betting site. It's basically the Trivago of sports betting. So if you want to, have Trivago, you can find different rates for different hotel rooms or the same hotel room and who's offering them. That's what BetStamp does. They do things like line shopping, so you can find the very best odds available to you. So like the example I used is Scotty Scheffler is plus 1100 to win the US Open on one site, but I found another site where he's plus 1200. Monty, you're a bettor. Those are big differences in those odds, wouldn't you say?
Well, hey, it's $100. It's $100 in your pocket.
Exactly.
When you're if you're trying to bet, you're betting 1100. You want to get back 12. Come on.
Exactly. So go to BetStamp. You can find them on the App Store or wherever you get apps, Google Play. And they're fantastic. So we're very excited and proud to be sponsored by BetStamp and to partner with them. So go to BetStamp.
And on that note, let's talk to Christine.
Where are you right now? Where do you live?
I'm at home in Windsor.
Windsor.
Yeah, so we're like a 10-minute drive to downtown Detroit, which is pretty fun.
Oh, wow.
I like how that's always the selling point for Windsor. It's always
it's like close to Detroit. Yeah.
Did you grow up there or Kingston?
Yeah, Kingston. So I had never really spent any time in Windsor before I moved here. We all hear what we hear about Windsor. So
sure.
The things you do for love,
Well, we've all been there for comedy, so I guess that's our relationship with Windsor.
I don't know if I loved it though.
No, but we love comedy. That was the analogy I was using, Daryl. Thank you for.
Okay, now I get it. I'm very confused. Easily.
And so grew up in Kingston, and your family built a golf course that exists that Daryl has played, I believe.
No way.
Yeah, like that's the one with the crazy 9th hole, right?
Yeah, like around the corner,
around the corner, and then up the hill. How high is that elevation?
I don't know. It's got to be like a 40-yard elevation change.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I didn't know what was going on, so I actually hit like a perfect drive right to the bottom of it.
Yeah, and then you're looking like into a wall.
Yeah, although I might have birdied it. I might have actually birdied it, believe it or not,
Okay.
which is hard to
okay.
believe.
Wow.
But at the very least, I parted. But I remember walking away because I think I only played the front nine. And I remember walking away going, "Well, that was a surprising end."
There you go.
But yeah, great little course.
And so you grew up there? Was it basically you were just on the course? Was that your family business?
Yeah. So my grandparents had this weird notion in the 70s that they would move their family to a different city and build a golf course. And
That's wild.
it was wild. And they had no formal training in golf or golf design or golf operations. And it's still in business today, which is a testament to their practicality and what they did as a family. Just stood the test of time. So my mom's recently retired, but my two uncles are still there every day. And my brother and I, like 6 o'clock, we were there for the first golfers. My mom would let them in the pro shop, and we weren't allowed to come back into the clubhouse until 4 until we left. So
Oh my God.
the members or the players would come back and check in with my mom and be like, Christine and Bradley are in the pond on the 6th hole, or they're looking for balls in the woods on 11. So it was a really unique form of babysitting that I appreciated.
That's unbelievable.
That's wild.
What a childhood.
That's what I
What
always
did-
said about my dad would drop me off. We didn't own the golf course or anything, but my dad would drop me off on the way to work and then pick me up on the way home from work. And that was our day. It was wonderful.
Yeah. So inevitably I picked up a golf club one of those
Yeah.
summers, and that was it.
What did you like? I'm just trying to think, having access to it, were you actually passionate about the game? Like, did you become passionate about the game, or was it just sort of like a hobby in a way?
No, it was, can you guys hear that when it beeps? Sorry.
No, don't worry about it.
Couldn't hear anything. No.
Yeah, I was never really enthralled by the game of golf in a weird way. I was lucky to be good at it, and that got me a scholarship to go down to Florida and get my undergraduate degree and not have massive amounts of debt coming out of university. But it was never my passion. I was more interested in like where the water drained and how the grass grew and kind of how the trees affected how the golf course plays, things like that.
Interesting. Do you think you're naturally good at it, or that's okay? Go ahead.
Hold on, sorry.
Yeah. We'll cut it.
Cat's ringing the bell.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm making you do more edits here.
No, you're okay.
Nick loves to edit. Nick
yeah,
loves
I really
editing.
do. Thank you. Do you think what's the correlation between your natural ability and the fact that you grew up on a golf course? Do you know what I mean? Like, if you didn't grow up on a golf course, do you think naturally you would be good at golf?
No, I just had access to a putting green every day and a chipping net every day. And I had a brother who I wanted to beat at everything, which was a really good motivator.
Was he older or younger?
He's younger. Poor guy.
Did he beat you ever?
At golf? No, he's still trying.
Is he working in the golf industry in any way?
No, he's not at all, which is really interesting. He never really took to it. He's took a different career path, but still in Kingston's being really successful. Got into the bar and restaurant industry and has a little bit of an enterprise going on in Kingston.
That's great. Did you play like competitively growing up before you went to college?
A little bit, but I kind of got a late start on the competitive side. I didn't really start to play in tournaments until I was like 14 or 15 because I was heavily involved in hockey, and I had signed my letter of intent with Queen's University to play on their varsity hockey team. And then about 2 weeks before the call time, I had a complete light bulb moment and decided to move to a different country and play a different sport entirely.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
No offense to the people of Kingston, but if you're going to pick between Florida and a Kingston winter, I think I'm picking Florida
Every
most
time.
times.
Yeah.
So
Maybe-
was that before you got the scholarship, or they offered you the scholarship and then you decided to go to Florida?
The golf scholarship.
Yeah.
So I had the the way I got recruited was I was down at a flea market in Daytona Beach.
Classic story.
And the classic recruitment story. And I was swinging a golf club at one of the used golf club stalls.
Just casually swinging a golf club,
And,
hoping I get discovered, as you do
it's
at a
like-
flea market.
Exactly, yeah. And the man who was operating the stall said, "Hey, you have a nice swing. Have you heard of Stetson University? They have a great golf team. You should check it out."
I'm sorry. The Stetson University recruiter is working a flea market.
No,
Is that-
there was no connection between
They had a
this.
booth. Stetson
Yeah.
University had a booth at this flea market. That's how they run flea markets in Daytona Beach.
Yeah. So the coach of the university was also no. He must have had some kind of affiliation with the university or known someone who had played golf there, but it was like, "Hey, you should check out this university." So I was like, okay, why not? And I reached out to the golf coach and I sent
Oh
him
my
some
God.
videos and I went to meet him and he's like, "Okay, if you want a spot, like you'll have to start at the bottom and work your way up, but we'll give you a shot." And so I went in.
You
I
have
went
to work at the
in-
flea market and then you work your way up to
Yeah,
varsity.
exactly. So I went in and I was like, it must have been like a 12 handicap when I started
Wow.
in my first year. Like I was shooting 86 and then you get into competition and I was like, I'm not used to this. I'm shooting 95s.
Yeah.
And then you play golf for 4 years every day for 2 semesters, you become very good very quickly.
Sure.
So I just progressed really fast. And by my senior year, I was a scratch golfer.
Wow.
Oh,
And I know you said that, or at least in some of the research I did on you, that competitive golf was never really entering your mind. But was there a point when you thought maybe I could do it, or is it just sort of in retrospect you were never really into competitive golf?
No,
Or pursuit?
I really, it was a way to get me through school. It was a way to meet new people. It was a way to travel. It was the end goal was never to try my hand at playing professional golf.
Okay.
Let me ask you though, did you at least send a few people the way of the flea market when you had a chance, like the other kids, or?
Totally. Anytime I saw like a girl playing golf in Florida, I was like, "You got to go check out stall 212 at Daytona Beach Flea Market."
It's life-changing.
Yeah, throw the
Literally.
dog a bone over there.
Is that how the Queen's University hockey coach
It's
found
a
you?
slightly different flea market, but not too
Yeah,
dissimilar.
it was in Smith Falls.
Right.
Yeah. That's so wild. So did you know that you wanted to have a career? Like, when did you start thinking about what you were going to do in terms of a career? And it's I've never heard someone say that they were fascinated with like what trees do to a golf course or how water flows or that kind of thing. But I imagine the way you grew up was sort of opened you up to that world. But is that what you started to think as you were in college? Like, this is what I would love to do?
Yeah, I think subconsciously that was always something attainable in my mind because I was around golf so much, and my grandfather, who had no professional training, was able to design a golf course and make it work. But it wasn't until I was kind of ending my playing career at university that I was like, okay, what's next? What do I do for him from here? And I was so comfortable and felt so safe in the golf industry that I didn't want to leave it. So I wanted to find somewhere in the golf industry that I could, get creative and be fulfilled and play outside in the dirt all day. And I had a moment where I read an article in a magazine about a golf course that used to be a quarry mine that they were turning into a US Open venue. And that was the moment I was like, wow, that's possible. That's what I have to do.
Wow. And so in your research, did you find the master's program at Guelph, or did you know about
So I had kind of reached out to a few other people in the industry who kind of had golf architecture knowledge. And there's no educational program anymore to pursue that. so there's a few different ways to go about it. You can get into golf construction, or you can take the academic route and do a master's in landscape architecture somewhere. So
how many golfers go in, or how many people with like golf courses in mind go into that program? Is that program designed for golf?
No, not at all.
architecture?
No,
Okay,
no,
yeah,
no.
that's
So
what I
it was
wondering.
like we were learning about like wastewater management and urban planning and housing developments and stormwater management and all different kinds of things, which proved to be really helpful to me. But the program at golf was really great, and they let me kind of feel my way through it and do my projects on golf. And the 15 other people in my class were so sick of hearing about golf by the end of those 3 years. But yeah, there's very few golf focused students in a Master's of Landscape Architecture program.
Does it make it hard then to like almost like cater it to golf for you? Like,
yeah, I mean, I was essentially teaching myself.
yeah.
Like none of the professors had any golf knowledge or very little. So it was really a self-learning exploration journey, and writing my thesis in my final year was a big part of that.
That's wild. So then what happens after university or your master's, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I was given a scholarship by the Stanley Thompson Society, who sought out people who were interested in getting into golf design, and there weren't very many of us. So
Right.
I got that scholarship, and they gave me a couple grand, and I used that to travel to Scotland and play golf, and I called it data collection. And during that trip, I saw links golf for the first time, and that like literally changed my life. And
Really?
also on that trip, I was put in contact with Martin Hawtrey, who is a really important architectural dynasty out of the UK, with his grandfather and his father working in this 100-year-old firm. And I got in contact with Martin, and he said that he happened to be working on a project in Toronto, and he would be over next month, and I want to meet up. And so I met Martin Hawtrey at the Toronto Golf Club, and we just we got on so well, and we really did become fast friends. And when I graduated from the University of Guelph, he offered me a job over in the UK.
Wow.
How
That's
did you meet it? Because I read you talked about how you met. Weren't you playing golf or with someone or something, and then he owned a flea market, and then he
it was the owner of the flea market this time, who happened to be the same superintendent at the golf course I was playing, who knew Martin Hawtrey because Martin's brother worked across the stall.
It is crazy though, like the way your life is just keeps building up to these moments. It's amazing.
I just feel so lucky. Like none of this ever should have happened. You know, do you have those feelings of like,
yeah,
I don't know how this happened?
I'm on a podcast with these idiots. I have that feeling.
That's very true. Speaking of which, actually, I have a number of questions for you, but one thing I did want to ask you, I don't know if there's a correlation between this or not. So we're all comedians. I personally, I don't know about Daryl and Monty. I don't watch a lot of stand-up comedy. Because I can sort of see the mechanics of it. And then also there's another part of I don't want to be influenced by anything that I see. So I sort of have a weird aversion to watching stand-up comedy. When you're playing golf now, can you be in the moment and just play golf, or are you looking at the course and analyzing the design of it?
Yeah, I find it really difficult to do both of those things at the same time. I sort of have compartmentalized my playing side of my brain and my design side of my brain. So if I'm just trying to get the ball in the hole, I can do that, but I completely disregard all of the architecture, which I don't enjoy doing anymore. I really don't enjoy playing golf to score well or to to practice my shots. I play golf so that I can look at the architecture.
Really?
Yeah, totally. And so I've really kind of progressed away from the competitive side of my career into this design mindset that I find really fulfilling.
That's so interesting.
Awesome. Tell me, How do the trees affect the play of the golf course? Like you're
In
talking about the way the ball rolls or stuff, or
Yeah, no, I'm talking about if you think about how trees and turf compete for the same things like sunlight, nutrients, water. So a lot of the time, if you're having turf health problems or there's a patch of brown area in a fairway or in a rough or on a green, it's because the trees are too close to it. And so I was able to make that relationship really early on, like from a very young age. And that kind of really interested me and why that happens and why a tree would affect grass. So there's this cycle of sunlight and airflow and how everything on a golf course competes for those same things. So if you want a golf course to be in good health and playable and maintainable and reduce the input from your maintenance staff to not always have to be desperately trying to get the turf to grow, you should look at the trees first.
Your brain is so different than mine. It would never cross my mind in a million years. And you're just walking along going, you know what?
Yeah.
When you think of it, that's insane.
well, I always figure when I'm looking at a tree, I figure it's none of my business what the tree's up to, you know? 'Cause I'm just over here, the tree's over there. Why am I getting in the trees business? Or why am I getting in the lawns business? I'm just doing my
Yeah, stick to your lane business.
yeah, stick to my lane. Yeah.
Something I find very interesting, I noticed in interviews that I read with you, we say we're not going to have water for golf courses in 30 years, or like, is when you say things like that, like, I just picture the bros in golf going, "What are you fuck are you talking about?" You know what I mean? Is that
Yeah,
met
like you
with,
fear monger. What do you
Yeah.
like? Prove it.
But it's
And-
already like we had a guest on a few weeks ago who lives in Los Angeles, and he said like there's no water there, right, for them to
Yeah,
water
totally.
their courses.
Yep.
Yeah, and municipalities allow golf courses to pull water. And oftentimes golf courses are on a lease, and that lease is renewed every 5 years for the amount of water that they can pull. And so there's two scenarios that are very possible in the near future, is that the municipalities are going to reduce that amount of intake by a lot because of the scarcity of water that we're experiencing and because of extended and more intense periods of drought. Or they're going to increase the cost of pulling that water to the point where golf becomes really unaffordable, because the cost of the golf course is paying for that water is ultimately passed down to the consumer. And so golf is either going to become an extremely elite sport again, or we're going to have to deal with not being able to pull as much water. And so how does the golf course change with half the amount of water that it has now?
So how does it change?
You have to really think about the areas of the golf course that you want to put water on and focus on those areas and reallocate water to those areas. So like tees and greens are more important than fairways. And you allow the turf to go through its natural life cycle. If you look at your lawn turf, it's not green all year round. It browns and it firms and it goes into stagnant times when there's drought or when it's too cold. So the turf changes and it becomes firm and fast. So you might hear people talking about firm and fast golf, and that's all it is. It's a reduction of water. Sometimes it's intentional and sometimes it's not. But that comes with a whole other, excuse me, that comes with a whole other educational component of why brown turf on a golf course is okay and is actually valuable, because we're reducing our water intake, and it creates for a really cool, interesting golf. And it allows you to bring back in the ground game that we think when we think of St. Andrews or places like any kind of links golf. And it is a great equalizer, because it gives people who need the extra yardage off their drive those extra 10, 20 yards. And it also challenges the better players, because they have to consider their angles and their their approach shots into the green, because they can't just fly the ball into the middle of the green anymore, because it's going to bounce over.
That's great.
Wow.
I need to, you've worked on so many cool projects, and I'd love to be able to walk through them all, but people can go on FraserDesign.com and see all the things that you've worked on. But there's one, I'm going to be a bit selfish here. There's one course that I saw you worked on that I've played many, many, many times.
Okay, go
and
on.
that is Braben.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about your involvement in Braben and what you did, what your role was in that course. Because I would say that my background is Tobacco Road, which is probably the most unique course I've ever played. And I would probably characterize Braben as the second most unique course I've ever played. And memorable.
It's really cool. It's kind of that concept that ignited my interest in golf course architecture, of turning a dump into a golf course. And what that would look like.
Literally. Yeah. And it's beautiful.
And it's stunning. It's elevated. It's undulated.
Incredible.
It's really, really unique, interesting golf. And I'd like to have more involvement there. It's kind of faded over the last few seasons, but we worked on a tee program, and looking at where the tees are located and how we can make the golf course a little bit more playable for different types of people, so that we can encourage more people to get out there and experience the golf course in a fun, enjoyable way that isn't too devastating.
I know you're not that concerned with like scores or whatever, but I played it quite a bit at the start of the pandemic, because I wasn't a member anywhere, and so I would go out to Braben maybe once a week or so, and I generally was shooting in the 80s for the most part, and then I had my best ever round where I shot a 75 there, and that was the first time I ever went that low, being 3 over, and it was just spectacular, and it was windy and it was tough, and it was just amazing. So
awesome.
I'll never
thank
ever
you.
forget.
I guess he's saying thank you. Yes.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah,
there was one hole. I think it was number 11 or 12. It was a dogleg left on the back 9, and I had 123 yards to the pin, and I had to hit a 7-iron because the wind was so strong. And I stuck it, and it was great, and tapped in for birdie, and it was just
and not to discount numbers when we're playing golf, because those are the things that really get us excited, and everyone remembers their first birdie or their first hole in one, so not to discount that.
Super, super cool, and amazing that you contributed to that, so thank you. That's great.
Yeah, of course. My pleasure.
I like that you're trying to design courses just to make to grow the game.
Yeah,
that's something that I don't think anybody thinks about. They're just trying to make courses as challenging, but there's so much more to golf than just making the hole challenging. Yeah,
I totally agree. I think I want everybody to play golf, and it's not possible right now because of all kinds of different barriers to entry, including formal dress codes and architecture, and the language barrier. Golfers speak this weird language, and they have unspoken rules, and it's complicated. So just trying to simplify it.
Yeah, I mean, like thinking about just as a man who plays with his wife, sometimes it's just everything I read about you. Like what drives me nuts when I play with my wife is how often golf courses don't even have tees for women. They just throws, like, what are you doing? Like they're paying the same amount of green fees.
Totally. Yeah.
Gives them the same experience. Like it's
just consider people who have a slower swing speed and how their experience of the golf course could be positive or negative depending on where a tee is. Like it's just simple stuff. It's not revolutionary architecture. It's just considering people who haven't always been considered.
And also, this is a purely selfish thing I'm going to say right now. If golf courses could not put trees about 40 yards off to the right of the tee, as a lefty, let me tell you, nothing more annoying than a group of tees 30 to 40 yards off the tee.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind the next time.
Okay, you got it. You got it.
No trees to the right.
I don't
lefties we get just we get treated so badly.
Should I take out that bunker that's there too on every hole?
No, I don't care about
bunkers.
Okay,
Put a
bunker wherever you are. There's nothing that just drives me like Nick and I are playing a course on Sunday, and it drives me. The first 6 holes, there's 4 holes where there's trees 40 yards away to the right, and I just
it's a magnet
to them every time.
I'm like, magnet.
I have to literally aim out of bounds to try to get it in the middle of the fairway. It's so annoying.
Give them my business card, please.
You,
I don't
you
think they
talked
care
about what it
me.
you talked about what it's like playing courses with that designer sort of mindset. Have you played, I presume you've played courses that you've heavily worked on, and what is that experience like?
It's pretty
Like, are you being
surreal.
self-conscious the whole time? Are you second guessing? Are you
Yeah, I work really hard on like not doing that, because it is this artistic pursuit that is subjective and will never be perfect. And
sure?
so I try to not think about that too much. But it is a pretty surreal experience. I spent a lot of time working on the Watson course at Toronto Golf Club.
Mhm.
It's a 9-hole, really accessible in terms of architecture, really playable golf course. And yeah, saw it from, dirt up. And to play it for the first time was really special and really satisfying and really fulfilling, and gave me a lot of confidence in what I did and moving forward, how I could take that.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it must be make a course like that. I was telling these guys before you came on that
Oh God, here we go.
I the only little bits of things I've done landscaping wise is I built a retaining wall in Scarborough, and I tell you, I go back to that wall every now and again, and I'm like, yeah, it's still here, And
It's really special. Yeah. I did that. I built that with my hands. I had input. That's legacy, retaining walls.
yeah, yes, it's quite a legacy. Sometimes I park my car there and I look around the strip mall and then I leave. But it's a legacy.
You're like,
nevertheless.
that's me. That's
Yeah,
me, everybody. And they're like,
yeah,
what the fuck is that guy
with
talking
this.
about?
I wonder, do you have when you build the courses, do you have like a detailed model of the course before you do it, like in an office or something?
Yeah. So like a new golf course or one that's already existing?
I guess either. I mean,
Yeah. So what's really helpful in the design process is topographic maps, which gives you the exact undulation of a golf course down to the quarter meter. So you can use that to see all of the different elevations, the valleys, the humps, the bumps, the edges of the property. And you use that to determine where the water is flowing, where you want to position tees and greens. And often you start with the green location because those are, the most spectacular, or the best way to use a site is to find really good green locations. So I mean, there's so much involved in the process, but starting with that topographic map is a good way to start. And there's like a lot of site visits, and you develop the plan on paper, which you then hand to the person in the bulldozer to make it come to life.
oh, that's cool. So you do that like on paper and in computer, but you don't have an actual model on a desk, like you can't. I just kind of picture a thing where you're like that you like that hole or whatever, and then you didn't like it, you end up smashing the model, and then you go back,
That's what this whole question was about. He just
Well,
wanted to get to that.
It's the impetus of the thought of I wonder if there's a bunch of models. That'd be cool.
It's
When he
just
said office,
ripping
I was
paper
like,
in half.
yeah, he's going somewhere with this. He's got something in mind.
He's got an agenda here with this
Yeah.
question.
I've got an agenda. So maybe a bunch of models.
Tell us how you rage when it doesn't go your way.
It's a good nickname for Monty, the agenda.
Yeah.
How many projects like are you working on right now?
I just got my first solo gig, which I'm like insanely excited and proud and amazed at. So that's taken up a pretty good chunk of my time at the moment, but I'm also working with another Toronto architect named Jeff Mingay. And he's got loads going on. So he's an absolute angel and feeds me work all the time.
Wow.
Where's this project that you're working on solo?
The Toronto Hunt.
Oh, that's
Scarborough.
yeah, that's
all right.
literally a 5-minute drive from me and Monty.
Yeah, there you go. So it was a pretty intense interview process. It lasted 2 months, and there were 7 other architects, and they chose me, which is really incredible. And it's the first time a woman has ever gotten a lead architecture role in Canada.
That's
That's
incredible.
awesome.
Congratulations. That's so great.
Thanks.
Maybe we'll get to play it. We're going to be here.
Yeah, maybe when you ask me about my dream foursome later on.
Yeah.
It's just the three of us. That's so sweet. Sucking up to the host is a very
wow.
good way. How do
Monty
you
would like to
approach
present
it?
you with a model of the course that you can smash.
I'll put something together myself. You don't have to do anything. I'll see what I can do.
Is it a complete redesign? Like, you don't need to go into the absolute specifics, but like what level of responsibility do you feel / pressure to take on a project like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge responsibility, and I don't take that lightly at all. I mean, I'm affecting a lot of people's experience on the golf course with a project like this, and the community, the management, trying to think about sustainability while you do all that is there's a lot of moving pieces to the puzzle. But at the Toronto Hunt, I got the job based on my design philosophies, which are, I wanted to make it fun, I wanted to make it sustainable, and I wanted to make it equitable. So
cool.
yeah.
Jesus, that's awesome.
Mhm.
We all, Daryl shared a video of you playing Dentonia, which has come up a lot on this podcast. You playing with those guys. That seemed like a fun day.
It was fantastic. That's my course that I wanted to talk about too. So if you didn't bring it up
okay.
now, I was
We're
going,
doing it.
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
let's
You
do
wouldn't
it.
be the
Well,
first.
you led us into the segue. That's incredible. Let's do the par five. Monty, do you want to do the honors?
I don't know if this is Daytonia, but I still wonder, is this the par 5?
I love it.
Sorry, what?
All right, Christine. Question number one. I mean, I don't know that there's ever been anyone better suited to answer this question, I guess. What is your favorite golf course?
and I really, if you're disappointed by my answer here, like, look in the mirror and figure your shit out.
Wow.
But it's
Okay.
Dentonia Park.
It is.
Oh,
Wow. This is incredible. Tell
Yeah.
us why.
This
Because
is our second time this season. Dentonia has been
That's
the
true.
pick.
Yeah.
Because it's so much more than golf. It is like this community asset that 300,000 people live within a 10-minute walking distance. Like, if you think about the impact that could have on a community, it's just, it's exceptional. It's so special, and
wow,
it's so accessible. You don't have to have a car. You can hop on the subway and get there, and you don't have to buy a driver and a hybrid and a wood. You can get a putter and a 7-iron and go play it. Like,
Which you can get at a flea market, pretty much.
Totally,
anywhere.
you can get at any flea market.
and
like,
a scholarship too.
it's so accessible, and you saw the downtown divots video. Like, I've honestly never have so much fun on a golf course.
Amazing. Wow.
Yeah, it's a great little course. So it comes up a lot, and I feel bad for people that listen to this and aren't anywhere near Toronto, but it's a tough course too. For every hole's like 106 yards, but the greens, you have to hit a perfect shot to get the ball to stay on the green first of all, and then if it rolls off, you're right into rough. There's no
there's no in between.
You can hit a great shot and make a 5. It's a tough course. I like
it is, and there's nothing really special about the architecture. Like, it's been left to evolve on its own for the last 60 years, and it's become this living thing that I think is really special.
And Monty was once told he couldn't bring his driver because he could make a car explode, which is the element of danger really helps.
They told me that directly. They're like, yeah, you could hit it on, somebody hit it on Victoria Park, and they hit a car and it flipped. And I was like, what?
That's a liability.
What kind of shot did this guy flip a car?
Yeah, and like, sorry, Monty, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying, like, that's quite an impressive shot, but I was like, this is a straight face story this man told me. And as he made me put my driver away. I'm like, oh, okay, well.
Yeah, put that away. But it's so quirky, it's so accessible. When you played it, did you use the bottle caps on the par 3 that were artificial turf? I just find that so awesome.
They have a new artificial turf too that was amazing. I wanted to stay on it, actually. I wanted to lie down. Like, it's
like camp overnight on that piece of turf.
It felt like a living thing. It was wild. It was on I don't know, maybe it was the 4th, 5th hole or something. I had never played on anything like that. Like, it was artificial turf, but it felt like a living organism. It was really good.
Yeah, technology is pretty good these days with artificial turf.
But bottle caps are pretty good too.
Yeah, whatever works. It's back to my flea market roots.
Yeah.
I feel somewhat embarrassed to ask the second part of question number one, because I sort of feel like naming these three courses as like the ideal courses is you're way beyond. But other than Augusta, St. Andrews, or Pebble, which course ideally would you like to play?
I'm desperate to get out to Cabot, Cape Breton. I haven't seen it yet, and
Really?
I hear really great things, and I love the East Coast, and it would just remind me of Scotland, and that would make me very happy.
Maybe you can get out there with Daryl, who's
East
from there.
Coast.
East Coast, let's go.
I love it.
I need a local to translate.
Well, that got a little racist. I've never
People aren't
played
a
it
race
either.
over there, are they? Are you?
If you went to Cape Breton, I think you'd
They would say
consider it.
otherwise.
Yeah.
Sorry, I retract. Don't put that in the podcast.
No, I'm not editing that out. You already made me edit
Oh, no.
something. All right, Christine, question number two, you can put together your ideal foursome with the caveat no PGA, LPGA, or live players, and anyone dead or alive. And you know what, I'm going to make this challenging on you besides the three of us.
I find this question so difficult, and I really want to
Excellent.
pass.
No.
But I think you're asking me to kind of figure out, what I'm into, my personality, what I.
We're not
No,
psychiatrists.
it's more, no, it's like, what do you want to spend 4 hours doing?
Well, golfing, but like who would you like to spend 4 hours with?
Yeah.
is basically.
I suppose that's a good point. I'd love to. I think my grandfather died before I was able to share this love of golf architecture with him.
That's great.
So I'd love to get him out on the golf course and pick his brain about what he saw in building Camden Braes and how he made that work as a non-golfer. I think that would be great.
I love when people pick family members.
Mhm.
Especially
Yeah,
ones who have passed away. That's the best.
I think that'd be really special, and I don't want anyone else to play with us. Okay.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay.
That's fine.
But this is awkward. We're going to be behind you, and we're hitting into you like crazy.
No, we're gonna be super speedy. Don't worry.
Well, there's only two of you. I should hope.
Yeah.
I'm confident in asking this question, question number three, because in the Dantonia video, I saw you carrying a tall can of beer, but on a hot summer day, what are you ordering from the bar cart?
I'd probably start with the spicy gin Caesar, just to really,
a gin Caesar. Interesting.
really fill my belly.
Interesting. I like it.
Yeah, love a good
On a
Caesar.
hot day. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Hot day, extra ice cubes, no problem. And then I would have a beer.
This is
And-
terrifying for me because with season one, we took all the drinks that everybody mentioned and we had a night of drinking.
Yeah.
And I am not a Caesar fan and I'm not a gin fan.
Ooh.
And if I get this,
Oh,
this is going to
boy.
be
Ooh.
a terrible night for me in season
How do
two.
you do it? How do you do a spice, Daryl?
I love spice.
Okay,
Spice,
all
I'm a
right.
big, I put hot sauce on everything. But yeah, I tried a Caesar once the night I graduated from university, and it was the worst thing I ever tasted in my life. And I've never gone back. So
Okay.
Well,
All right.
yep.
episode 19 of season 2, Daryl, we're coming at you.
You know,
Caesar.
you can't fix
You
it.
can't try something once when you're 19 and you don't need.
Thank you for
you're a whole
believing I
different person
graduated university at 19. But you know what? If you've been drinking and you have a drink and you're like, this is no good, that's a strong indicator. Maybe Caesars aren't for you.
I suppose so.
Yeah, I wouldn't encourage you to, but I'm still like, give them until you've had 10. How do you know?
You can't possibly know.
Yeah, because you
Well-
might turn on a dime on the 8th and you're like, I love this. So that's
Actually,
the
love
whole
this. Yeah, it's like it's maybe the briny olive. Like they're an acquired taste. You just gotta push through.
Wait, there's olives in it too?
There can
Sometimes
be, sure.
good
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah.
This is terrible. This is-
Christine, how often are you getting out? Like this past summer in Windsor, how often are you playing?
Oh, I had great expectations for myself. I acquired a new set of really nice golf clubs, and
What are they?
I got fit by Titleist, and I got
Ooh.
T100s, and then they're just so nice, aren't they? Yeah.
I hate that
I,
every guest has better clubs than us.
I
It's,
know.
it's frustrating.
Well,
Yeah, sorry guys.
All right.
Yeah, you can borrow them whenever you want. I don't use them very much.
Next time we're all in the Windsor.
Yeah, totally. So I've played a few times at Toronto Hunt when I was trying to familiarize myself with the place. Maybe like I got out 5 times, and it was not enough, but really enjoyable.
Is that your first step in terms of like Toronto Hunt in working on it? Is playing it, or is it walking it?
It's not the first, but it's part of the process. The first is walking it, because as I said, I have like a different mind for architecture and a different mind for playing golf, and I learn different things when I do both. So the first is like walking it, spending time out there, talking to the members, asking people about their experience of the golf course. And then when I think I have a kind of a pretty good understanding of it, I'll go out and walk it around.
Nice. Okay. Great. Question number 4 is about emotions on the golf course. So you can answer either the angriest you've ever seen someone on the golf course, or how do you keep from losing it on the golf course, which I don't really think you do. I think you've got a probably pretty positive relationship with golf, I would say.
I had quite a sour relationship with golf in university, actually. I was like by far the worst temper on the team, probably in the conference. Like, it was embarrassing.
Because why? Because you thought you were better than you were, or you were
because I wanted
by the competition?
No, I had a really competitive mind, and I wanted to be very good. And I was easily frustrated and didn't have a lot of patience, and golf requires an extensive amount of patience. And I wasn't mature enough to understand the correlation there.
Interesting.
So yeah, I was notorious. Like, my 9-iron is still up in a palm tree in Victoria Hills, and like
I have an 8 and a 7-iron that are still up in the same tree. So
but that's not me anymore. I'm a completely evolved human now. So
congratulations on that development.
Thank you.
Do you try sometimes when you design courses to not put the hard parts near the water? Because I don't know, a lot of the times I just want to walk into the lake, like if I've lost it. And like, do you try to keep it for the safety of the people?
Yeah, and like
as a follow-up, have you ever designed a lake for someone to walk into? Because Monty would really appreciate
That's a nice gentle slope.
Yeah.
I'm trying to design something that like you won't even get to that point. You're gonna be so content and just you're going to be, in your oasis on the golf course. You're never going to have that notion again.
That'll be fantastic. It'll be like on Golden Pond or something. I'm just feeling amazing out there.
Yeah, just a big smile.
The weirdest thing about it is Monty doesn't really have a temper on the golf course.
It's true.
So,
he's very zen.
For some reason, he sees a lake or a pond and he needs to go to it.
Well, no, see, there's part of my mind is telling me to go into that lake and don't come out.
Yeah, these intrusive thoughts.
Yeah.
Human nature.
Yeah, I guess. Well, you have to stop it, otherwise you end up wet all the time.
My God.
I don't think the designer of the course can stop that, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, I've never considered that in any of my designs. That's a new one for me. Thank you.
Yeah, food for thought.
You're very welcome. Last question. Your favorite golf moment that you've either experienced personally or witnessed on TV. What is your favorite golf moment?
Yeah, I mentioned that trip I took to Scotland. I was in my mid-20s and I was by myself, and I stepped onto Royal Dornoch for the first time. It was my first exposure to a links golf, and it truly just changed my perspective about the future of golf and what I wanted to contribute to the game. And that moment is, really seared in my brain, and I reflect back on it when I lose sight of what's important and why I'm doing this, and it makes me want to make golf better, and it makes me want everyone to have that experience, and for golf to provide that for them.
It's unbelievable the way you talk about the game is just crazy. Like it's so, I've never heard anyone talk about the game that way, who can actually impact people's experience with the game.
Yeah.
And you're an incredible trailblazer. Like, are you aware of that? Being a young woman, in this field, like that's incredible too.
Yeah, it's a bit lonely to do these things.
I bet.
To be the first in a lot of ways, but it's a privilege.
Man, I don't
Yeah.
even know what to say.
No, I know.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's great. It's interesting to see your perspective of just constantly thinking about it from the point of view that everyone's going to enjoy themselves, and it'll be more, game will be more accessible to everybody. That's pretty sick.
Yeah, I mean, I think golf is just the medium that I like to use to connect people together and allow people to practice their mental health and their physical health and make cool connections and see the world and become a better human. And it's more than just a game.
Incredible. What an incredible way to end. There's nothing I don't think any of us could say that's better than that. Thank you so much.
We would just ruin it. Anything we said would be ruining it.
This was a privilege, Christine. Thank you so much. It was a real
Yeah.
privilege to meet you and to have you on. And if there was ever a way that the four of us could play golf, we would absolutely love it. So whether it's in Toronto or down in Windsor, wherever, it would be that would be an amazing experience.
Yeah, I'd really love that too.
Or Daytona, for that matter.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Walkable.
Absolutely.
You can park your car at my I guess you can park there. You can park your car at my place and then walk the 10 minutes. Or you can just park in their parking lot. Up to you.
I'm so happy everything's okay with your cat and that this could work out. And thank you so much for your time. This was super cool.
This was great.
Well, great meeting you, Christine. Thanks so much.
Thanks so much for your curiosity. This was a blast.
Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
Take care.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Well, that was Christine Fraser. My God, I kept thinking this throughout the entire episode. That was an artist. We had an artist on the podcast this week. This is someone who just
Monty
thinks of things.
is Juno nominated.
Well, sure, yes, in his art, yeah.
But this is a real art. No offense. A real artist? Is that the proper term?
Yeah, I'm
the head of class.
in fairness, I am only talking shit. That is 100% true.
And the best, a negative spin turned positive, when in 30 years, when there's no more water for golf courses, there's nowhere for Monty to go drown himself.
There's no lakes to walk into.
Well, you really, I'll be looking for puddles, deep puddles. Try to get your head in there. Just jam your head in.
Yeah, that was excellent, and which we knew she would be. Yeah.
What an interesting perspective on golf. It really is a 360-degree look at kind of, because we've been having everybody that's just mostly golfers on, and to talk to somebody who's designing the whole experience.
But it is crazy, like I brought up, that her head goes differently, that she sees things on the golf course that the three of us would never even
even fathom this week. Yeah.
It's a little bit like having Anthony Hopkins from Westworld on a Westworld podcast, you know what I mean?
No, I honestly I don't know what those two things are.
Well,
I know Anthony Hopkins, but I don't know what Westworld is.
It would make more sense. He's the designer of Westworld.
Okay.
In Westworld. So that's why, so.
Sorry
for any Westworld fans out there.
So this is a TV show?
Yeah, HBO. It's a big show.
I'm sorry. I only watch British shows pretty much.
It's real big. It's the fifth season. A lot of people are going crazy. Like every kid that came to my house was Anthony Hopkins this year for
everyone.
Halloween. And 100% of the kids were Anthony Hopkins from Westworld.
Every kid who walked down an alley and then down the stairs to your front door of your basement apartment was Anthony Hopkins.
What are you, little boy?
Yeah, Monty never lies on stage. Yeah,
Anthony Hopkins again. Wow. I love it too. Hell of a show. Anyway.
Thank you for listening. If you want to know more about Christine, as I said on the pod, go to ChristineFraserDesign.com. You can read all about her, watch videos, look her up. It's all fascinating stuff. Thank you to Comedy Records. Thank you to BetStamp. Thank you for listening and supporting the pod. We've got more episodes coming. We're very excited about season 2.
Yeah. I mean, look, this has been a great start to the season. Can we all agree?
God. Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
Holy.
Monty seems hesitant, but
no, I'm electric. I'm electric with my enthusiasm for the rest of the season. I incandescent. I'm bouncing off the walls over here.
The beige walls. He's bouncing off beige
I'm
walls.
bouncing off beige walls.
He's got
Mine-
TVs on 3 of them, and but he's bouncing.
It does look, his wall does have a little Times Square feel to it as the two TVs bounce off of it.
I said, light it up. Light it up for the podcast. Yeah.
Thanks everyone for listening. We appreciate it, and we'll see you next week. Play well.
Found that tree on the left
care.
side of the fairway,
God bless you all.
and something distracted him.